Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm here with another update on the Golden Hind from Revell that I've been building. It's coming along quite nicely. I've gone on a little bit further with it than I was hoping for a stage of a video actually, but like we all do, we get a bit carried away and carry on with it. Not by no means finished. So there she is. I've done the first stage of painting, first stage of assembly. She's been really interesting, really enjoyable kit. Big part of it was stripping and cleaning, and now putting her back together again. So where have I got to? I have painted all of the wooden decks and the wood effects on the side of the hull. You can't see great at the moment. The reason there's masking tape all over at the moment is just because it's easier to handle her if I need to pick her up in certain places. I'm going to keep touching it without any tape or anything on there. I'm just going to wear through the paint. So I've done that, and at the moment she's sitting with tape on a little stand that she came with and blue tacked to it just for a little bit more stability, because she wants to slide off of that stand. Right at the beginning of the instructions actually suggests to glue the stand to the hull before you do anything. So glue the two halves together with that first deck and then glue the stand to the hull. I don't know why you would want to do that. But, you know, that would be very difficult then to work on the hull and get any kind of accuracy on the water line, or you know, later on with the stage it is in at the moment, the water line I've painted white below. I'll show you in a minute. And I've got a top coat on that, and just that alone is out of top coat, so that's ready for a wash down there and a bit more weathering to be done on the white side of it there. And the colouring in around the side of the paintwork was therapeutic. You've got to take your time with it. It's not finished yet. There's still a lot to do. There's quite a lot of texture within the tiny details that you need to pick out, and then once the wash goes on, once I put a coat on there, then a wash goes on there, I'm hoping that a lot more of that detail will pop out. There's not much point going too far with that until I've done all of the smaller components on the inside. The cannons are glued in, and the little rescue boat is in position with the oars, and I've done a little bit of rigging. I'll do a closer look in a minute. I've done a little bit of rigging around the oars and strap the little boat down to the deck. There are figures with this kit eventually, which I'll probably use, and there's 5, I think it's 5. I've freed them from the sprue, but I haven't cleared them up all. Later on, let's pick out Sir Francis Drake. And there he is. He's only a little sharp. There's 5 of those, which I will paint up. I will do and put on there. But by doing that, you're almost creating a kind of a diorama on board the ship. So what it's lacking is any kind of accessories like barrels and some kind of stowage, and you know, there's going to be plenty of ropes hanging around in a minute, and I can put a bit more in there to sort of, you know, coiled rope and stuff like that to make it look a little bit more like there's stuff going on. But I think if you just put figures to a standing boat, it's going to look a bit lifeless. So I think over time I'm going to be looking at adding kind of a little bit more features, diorama features to it, possibly. Don't know yet. I haven't started any of the rigging other than what have I done with the rigging? Nothing really, other than what I said. And the cannons, they've got little ropes there, seized ropes that go to the little eyes to restrict the movement of the cannons, I suppose. And the anchor rope wraps around wooden post on the inside, and this part of the rigging, because there's one section, this is just normal black cotton tied onto a rigging thread, because that one needs to go in now before do anything else, because this top deck section goes over it and there'll be no way of getting to that afterwards. So that bit of black thread is just to catch hold of it and to stop it falling through the hole at the moment. The rudder, that's quite nicely detailed. The rudder, I've matched the white part to the waterline of the ship and started to put a little bit of detail, steel detail on it. I don't know if you can see it. No, that looks quite good. On the masts, I've started to build up and put some string lashing. Put some lashing behind it. So progress is slow, but it's fully enjoyable. Let's reposition the camera and I'll move you in a little bit and have a little closer look at what I've been working on. Okay, hopefully you can see that a little bit closer up. You can see the little bits of rigging that I've put around the cannons, tie to the little loops on the inside, wrap around those points. That's what the points at the back of the cannon are there for, to wrap that rope around and then tie back onto the other eye. The colouring of the deck has come out quite well. I've done it with the Revell wood kit. What is it? This set. It's quite good actually. There's everything in there that you need. There's a primer and a wash that comes with it, and it works quite well. I mean, it could have gone lighter and more washed out looking, but I'm quite happy with that really. I've done the same with the sides of the ship. You can see the wood effect down to the waterline. Again, I don't want to take this tape off too much. And the detailing of the colours around the sides. So they are all actually moulded, so all you have to do is colour them in. It's all done with acrylic paints, all Vallejo paints. The blue is a Humbrol, a Humbrol enamel. It was one that I had, a Humbrol acrylic, sorry, one that I had just knocking around randomly. So I don't really use them, so I thought I'd use it, and it's come out with quite a good blue. And the green, I didn't want to go too vivid with the green, so the green is it's a PLA colour, a Chinese PLA army colour, but it's kind of worked out well. It's quite a pastel-y type of green, so I've gone with that. Whether the pins would be brass or wood, I'm not really quite too sure, but I thought by putting a little bit of brass amongst it sort of just brought it to life a little bit more. The front at the bow, I need to put the little figurehead, which I've started to paint, but I'm only going to knock that off if I try and do that now. You can see the lashing on the front on the bow sprit, is that what it's called? That goes through there and sort of does a figure of 8 around it and then back under. It's quite nice to do. That's the putting in preparation for the rigging that you wouldn't be able to get to very easily. Can you see on the inside there, the boat, that's yours, and seized her down to the deck, and of course the stern started to detail the emblem and the plaque on the back. Still quite a way to go with that, picking out some more details, and it's not accurate as we believe to the Golden Hind. This seems to be a moulding that reoccurs in some Revell kits. It's not accurate. but I don't want to start going around getting a 3D part printed to replace that panel. I'm not chasing accuracy to that. That's because, let's be honest, nobody really knows too much about the Hind, so it does give you a lot of artistic license, really. So yeah, I'm quite happy with her, really. She's coming out all right. The kit supplied rigging parts, rigging rope that they supplied was wafer thin. So there are the decals, which the back part, which I've painted up, ready to go onto the stern. You can see, ready to go onto the stern of the ship, like so, roughly. That is where the decals go. So I've painted that in the wood effects, and the panels where the decals are going to go, I've put a good coat of Tamiya clear down, so they're quite glossy to accept the decals. Now, what are they, 60-year-old? 60-year-old decals. How do you think they're going to go down? They look like there's a chance, but I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure whether to trace them first. Obviously I'm going to take a lot of photos of them, but I don't know if I'm going to trace them first, so there's a chance that if I needed to, I could stencil it and airbrush them on. Hopefully not, hopefully they'll work, but we will find out. Sorry, I digress. This is the ball of string which I found in the kit, and I don't know, it just seems too thin, too bright, even though it has aged a lot. So what I decided to do was order some more. I went online and found these guys. Which do, quite a specialist in shipbuilding supplies. And I managed to order the different size strings. So that is a 0.3 and that is a 0.6. The two different size riggings mainly used for that, but the colours are already in the Hessian colour, so I have ordered some extra parts for the ship then. But that's it actually so far. I'm thinking of doing something eventually, ordering something different eventually for when it comes to the what they call the dead eyes, which are the sections that connect the main shrouds. So the rat lines are the sort of crisscross frames that go up the side. They consist of the uprights. I've learned this terminology now from doing this build, which are the shrouds, and then the horizontals are the rat lines. Now, and the shrouds are connected to dead eyes, which is sort of a pulley system, a roped pulley system, which keeps them taut and tight to the side of the ship. The mouldings that come with the kit are quite primitive, so I'm not sure yet whether to replace these or work with them. I suppose I ought to work with them really, because that's the theme of the kit. And then the rat lines, that, you know, the strings that I've got in the kit aren't the plastic molded type, they're the waxed string type, which I think look a little bit better, but again, I'm not sure what to do with that side of the rigging yet. I'm quite a long way away from worrying about any of that. So that's where we're at. I'm going to carry on by doing a lot more painting on it, and changing the colouring of this. It hasn't been touched yet, hasn't been, no effects have been put on the top, this brown, um, and catch up to where I'm at really now, and finish the hull as much as possible. I'm not going to put an oil wash on it until the end, and then I'll give it all a seal, and then I'll put a wash on it all, and then try and sort of weather it down a little bit and put some streak marks in it and some rust marks and so on and so forth around there. Um, so that's it really. Like I said, I've got the masts which I've put some paint on and started to do a little bit of work too, but I'm not happy with the colours of them yet. It was all a lot more mixed up than this and a lot lighter. I'm not careful, it's all going to look a bit sameish. So I want to put some contrasting colours to this, wood colour, lighter wood colours and stuff, not sort of garish colours, but different effects and different colours there before I think about connecting up some of the rigging. But I need to start thinking about the rigging now, and how I'm going to connect and what I'm happy with and the way it's going to look, and whether or not all the parts are actually there still. I think they are, for all the rigging, but that's what we need to carry on and find out. So that's it. I'll give you another update soon. I'll carry on building for a little while. Any other sort of difficulties, the rigging is obviously going to be quite a long process, but yeah, I think she's looking quite good really. I'm quite happy with her, so thanks for coming along and watching. I'll see you soon.